Because it matters.
It does matter whether you vote, and your voice needs to be heard.
Well, obvious to me is the fact that if you don't vote, then you can't be counted.
It's a pretty simple one. We should care about all our seats.
U.S. senators are a powerful position that really impacts on the home state, the politics, the laws, the money that is given to the state.
People have to understand the importance of the U.S. Senate, because people look at the presidency and they think the president impacts everything, but in fact, it's a collaboration. It's people representing different constituencies.
So everything in politics is basically about a majority. One person can, feel like they need something, but they need the help of, in the Senate's case, they need the help of 99 other senators to, basically put bills through. So, everything, including voting, you need a majority. So everybody should vote.
Ted Kennedy held it down for decades. So sometimes I think people took it for granted. He's doing the work. He's looking out for Massachusetts. We don't have to worry. Now he's gone, and that position has to be filled by somebody that we can trust and depend on to do what's best for the country and for Massachusetts and for the residents.
So if you don't take an interest in the senator, who in turn impacts your taxes, who in turn impacts programs that represent you in terms of energy, in terms of employment, in terms of defense. These are things that people talk about every day, but they need to understand that there are people that you deal with. Your senators, your congressional people, these are the people who go to Washington that are supposed to represent your interests.
The power that our representatives and our senators have to represent our interests as Massachusetts, as a region, and to champion those in the U.S. Senate and the House is important.
They definitely need to address education. I'm very much worried and concerned about the education in the urban cities, especially Boston education.
That we take care of the earth.
Make sure that the resources necessary, particularly for my population, i.e. unemployment, those resources that kind of help you live day to day are still available.
I would like for them to basically create more jobs for people in the inner city, people who are struggling, who are trying to make ends meet at this time.
I'd just like somebody who's in a position to care about everybody, not just a particular group. There's a focus on the middle class, it seems, from both sides, but low-income people, poor, and the well-to-do need to also be put into that mix.
I'd like them to address health care for the elderly. I'm currently in a sandwich situation, and so I would want them to be very concerned about how our elderly are going to provide for themselves and their health care.
It's also very hard when somebody's actually trying to get health care and if they're unemployed. And so there's just a whole bunch of different issues that's going along with that as well.
You vote for the person that you truly believe in, that will stand for not just one issue, but overall multiple issues that will affect you, your family, and the community at large.
Domestic policies is very important. The range of domestic policies are very important today, and this position is going to be crucial.
Do you need a ride? Can I pick you up? Motivation is about attitude.
To depend on somebody else to vote when you're a registered voter is not going to cut it.
To not vote is basically saying that you don't care about what happens. And if you don't care about what happens to your family and don't happen with your neighborhood, then don't vote. It's imperative that poor people, middle class, and rich folks come out and vote.
There are a lot of people out there who may not be with us anymore who gave their lives so that people could have the right to vote.
There was a time where
we, as people of color in particular, were not allowed to vote. We were considered 3/5 of a person. And then we went through the poll tax and many other efforts of suppression. So it's important, because of the efforts of past generations, that we need to continue to use our voices. We need to vote.
Because without a voice, you're not heard. When you're not heard, actions aren't taken on your behalf. So my objective here is to try to get people to see the importance of supporting a candidate, someone who likens themselves to your issues, and then to go out, support that person, and then show your friends and family the importance of voting.
41 years ago, I went to Mississippi to do voter registration, and it was a very touchy situation to be there, and it was dangerous, but it was. I could see how important it was, so that's why I've been very active with this all my life.
It's more like, don't take your vote for granted and let somebody else vote for you. It will make a huge difference. You want to make a difference, make that difference by going to the polls and voting.
I'm going to vote, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely going to vote this election.
Yes, I'm going to vote.
Oh, absolutely. I vote every year, always, in every election.
There's no doubt. I have a responsibility to show up and vote.
Absolutely. You know, I'm 67 years old. I have never missed a major election.
Oh, most definitely. And I'm trying to get everybody else to vote too.
You need to exercise your right to vote. That many people fought for that to happen in our communities, for women and for all people. And so do not give up on the voting process.
It's almost like the dentist, right? You know, they say, which teeth are you going to brush? The ones that you want to keep. It's a great, you know, abundant society. We have a lot of things in this society. I think that to maintain that, we should vote.